Hi, I'm Chris Virginia. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to make comic strips, from start to finish. I'm going to show you diagrams, step by step. I'm going to be doing it with you, so you can do it with me. So, let's talk about the basic things you're going to need to know before even getting pencil or paper. What you're going to need to know is how to make a good plot, key number 2, how to make good characters, and key number 3, how to tell funny jokes or write funny jokes. So, let's start with the plot. The plot is going to be something you're going to want to write this down, like write down a little story about what the plot's going to be. So, I'm not going to show this part, but writing it down, like say you want to do a story about a detective. Write down what the case is going to be, write down something funny that's going to happen, write down all that hullabaloo, all that good stuff. The plot needs to be something catchy, makes sense, all that stuff. You don't want a boring plot that makes no sense whatsoever and just a drag that you don't want to read it. So, that's the plot. The plot is the base of it. You're going to need to make the plot before even thinking about your characters and your jokes. The plot's going to move it along what the story's going to be about, or the comic is going to be about. Key number 2, which we're going to show now. Just making, drawing, everything about your characters. So, what we're going to start with, I'm going to show you, is think of a good character and start drawing it. So here's what we're going to do. Our story, let's say it's going to be the detective story. But a plain old detective, that's boring. We're going to make the story, the detective is going to be a dog. Now, let's think of a good name for this dog. Sherlock Bones. It's a pun, it's funny, it's catchy, everything. Now, I'm going to cut this away for a second. There, I'm going to start drawing him and show you guys what you're going to need to know when you start drawing your characters. So, cut away. Okay, so now we're going to start drawing our character, Sherlock Bones. What you're going to need to think of is what he's going to look like. So, let's see. He's going to be a dog, obviously. What's the dog going to be wearing? Let's make him wearing a nice suit, because that's what you see detectives with, a hat and everything. So, let's start drawing his schnauz. Now, your character is not going to be like mine, because obviously you're not going to have the same story. Your character doesn't have to be perfect right away, because when you start drawing him, he'll become looking better. Because you're going to have so much practice drawing him. So, now, there's his head. Start drawing his hat. You don't have to put too much detail into this, part now. So, you just get a quick sketch down of what you want him to look like. Put his ears, put a little neck. Let's make him have a little suit on. Have his little pants. What you're going to want to remember when you're drawing your character is just think of what he's going to look like. You don't need him to be anything specific. He's just going to be a character design for now. Just a basic thing. So let's make his little paws here. Nothing is going to be perfect, so if you don't like how he comes out the first time, just keep drawing him until you like it. So, now, let's get his arms in here. His little hands. Dogs have the little paws, so they have he has 3 fingers, or, dog fingers. Take his little collar. Put a little tie in there, maybe. Get a little thing down there. There you go. Sherlock Bones. Now, that's his basic character design. So here's what we have so far. So now, cut away. Alright, welcome back. So now we're going to talk about jokes, since we already have our character and our plot. The jokes are going to be the biggest part of the comic, because a comic without a joke, what's that? Little illustration, just of some people saying some stuff. It's not funny. All comics have to be funny. That's what the point of them are, to make people laugh. Now, A good joke would be something that flows with what's happening in the comic. If it's just out of nowhere, sometimes it won't work. But sometimes it will. Random things are the things that are the funny jokes. Not just something that's like, doesn't relate anything at all. So, here's something that's not random. Say, blah, 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 everything's going good, you can't think of a joke now. So, what am I going to do? What you're going to do is start thinking of what happened already that might be able to make something funny out of it. Okay? Next, if you still have nothing to think joke after that, what you're going to want to do next is if you can't think of the joke that's funny, I mean, not everyone has funny jokes, think of a response set to make it funny. So, what you're going to want to do now is start drawing out your comic, and while you're doing the comic, think of jokes as you're going along that you're going to come up, because obviously your comics aren't just on the fly. So we're going to start drawing our comic now, and when I get to a part where I'm going to add the joke, I'll explain to you what you're going to do there. So when I cut away, welcome back. Now here, I have my comic all right now. It's a 3-panel comic that time passes in every comic from left to right, shown here. Now, it's a 3-panel comic, but not all comics are 3-panel. Some can be 1 panel, some can be up to 6 panels, whatever. So here we have a story about Sherlock Bones here. Bones is on the case. Okay? So, in panel 1 over here, you're going to want to draw the situation that's going to set up the joke or the funny thing that's coming up. So here is a case here. There's a fire over here in this corner. The people standing, blah, blah, blah. What happened? Asked one of the detectives. Well, okay, so there's panel 1. So basically it's setting up what happened, what the case is. So here we go with panel 2. Now notice how it says 10 minutes later. Now, like I said, time passes from left to the left in comics, or to the right, from left to right. So, since 10 minutes later, it's going to the right, there's an example. So, here we have the detective, and here's Bones. Bones, and Bones is what? Here's where the joke is getting set up, in this comic here. In this panel here. Now, if you're going to have a 3-panel comic, panel 2 is usually where the joke is getting set up. Now, we're going to move over to panel 3. Where have you been? Well, not here. So, explaining here, here's what happened. Something happened here. 10 minutes later, where is it? Bones shows up. Where's he been? Well, not here. That's what he says. There's your joke. Now that I showed you my finished copy of the comic, you should be able to know how to write your own comics, draw your own comics from start to finish now. I gave you the basics. How to make a good storyline, how to make good characters, and how to make good jokes. Basically, that's all you need to make your own comics. Now, your comics, I don't want being anything like mine. I want them to be creative as possible. They're your comics, not my comics. So, get out there and start drawing. See you guys.